Hi, everyone, and welcome to Get Ready. I know we've been gone for quite a bit, but just for introduction, so that you know who is the girl behind Get Ready. My name is Wielen Spuchter, and Get Ready was basically started in 2024 as an initiative for young people by young people, where we get a little bit of insight as to what the young people are doing within the different industries. So since we are making our comeback, I thought what better way to start it off? As we are within August and we are celebrating Women's Month, I thought it will be a great idea to have a few guest speakers, but specifically young, vibrant women that is within the tech space. So basically, women in tech, we will be sharing some of their stories with us. And I am extremely excited to join our very first speaker of the series. Her name is Naledi Mashishi, and she is a software subscription annuity specialist at IBM. So please give a round of applause, well, a virtual round of applause to Naledi. Welcome, Naledi.
Yay!
How are
Thank you
you
so much.
doing?
I'm good, thanks. And how are you?
I'm good, thanks. And thank you so much yet again for being eager to be the first person. I was very intentional when I tried and looked for people that will be suitable for this specific series. And I feel like you fit in so well. As I mentioned, we're talking about women in STEM, women in tech specifically, and where they're able to also share their journey. As we know that this is an industry that is still growing, even though there has been a lot of strides that have been made, but also learning and hearing what the young women are doing within the field, and how they can also inspire the others to join comes along. So, Naledi, please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah.
I'll hand over the floor to you.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me. Nice seeing you again. So just a little bit about myself. I'm Naledi Mashishi. I'm from a small village called Mamitlage. It is based in Mpumalanga. But currently, I am based in Johannesburg. I recently turned 27 years. So that has been amazing. I like to travel, I like to hike, taking walks, spending time with family and friends, and going to church, trying out new activities. I was trying out tennis. I feel like every
Mm.
year I keep on trying tennis. Um, but yeah, and I'm in the technology industry. It's gonna be 6 years in November
Wow.
this year, so it has
Mm.
been a while.
No, that
Yeah.
is so amazing. So I think even before we get into your career, let's take a step back, right? And look into where it all started, where you studied, what you also studied, and whether
Mm.
IT or the technical industry was something that chose you or you chose it.
Yeah, yeah, sure. So, I've always been passionate about technology or just curious about technology from high school to say, what exactly is this thing? And I started thinking about what to study from grade 10 when I started taking computer applications technology. We didn't have IT in our
Mm,
high school. So, from the basic knowledge of Word or the things that we were doing, I started being curious about technology. That's when I
mm,
said, maybe I could study computer science. And I went to the University of the Free State and I did study computer science with business management for a year because I
mm,
realized that I do not want to study programming for the whole of 3 years.
mm,
And I looked into computer information systems. So it had similar modules with computer science with business management, but the only difference is that I was going to study programming just for a year. Hence, I decided to do the switch and complete my degree in computer information systems. And yeah, that's what I studied at that moment.
And did tech choose you or you chose tech? Because I know you mentioned, right? But
Yeah,
as like a lot of people, they study something and then they go in a complete different industry, as an
true,
example, right?
true.
But yours slightly kind of was still very much aligned, slightly
Mm.
different. But was it something that You were very intentional with like, I'm gonna be in the tech industry no matter what.
I was. I was very intentional. So I chose technology. I
Mm,
I chose technology, and I think also it chose me in a way.
mm,
Um, so I remember when I was struggling with programming because I really did not like it. And to be honest, I was struggling with it. I was thinking, what else can I do besides the computer science space? I was thinking about
mm,
accounting, I was thinking about law, but I was not really interested. And I made sure that
mm,
I got to have, um, I need to make this work. You know, I need
mm,
to make programming work for that period of time. Then I can move
mm,
on with the switch to computer information systems. And even in university, I was just thinking, oh my goodness, I need to do something that still has to be in tech. I need to join a tech
mm,
company. So
mm.
I was very intentional about that.
Mm, mm. And when it came to, of course, now you graduated and now you have to start looking for jobs, right? How was
Mm.
that process and what was your actual first introductory into the work of world?
Yeah, so I remember my third year, a recruiter reached out to me from Microsoft. And at that time, I remember we couldn't make the interview work, but
Mm,
just finishing with my studies, I had to decide I get a job. If I do not get a job, I go into honors because I was like, what else am I going to do? Right? I need to
mm,
also continue my studies. But luckily, I did apply. I did get a job at Microsoft and uh, I did the internship there.
mm,
So I started my internship as an Azure Solution Sales Specialist. So
mm,
Azure is their cloud. I was selling their cloud security, data and AI. It was still combined at that time, and
mm,
their software to the clients. And I did my internship, and immediately after that, I went into the graduate program because after the internship, you go into the graduate program for about 2 years.
mm,
And I
mm,
still did it in the same space. I was still an Azure sales specialist. And later on, I switched. I was like, maybe I need to try something different, right?
yeah.
I switched within the company. I want to become a Microsoft Teams technical specialist at that time. And yeah, that was the starting base or the foundation of my career
Mm,
that runs up around how I transitioned from university and how I got a job. And currently I'm with IBM. I'm a software
mm.
renewal specialist.
That is amazing. And I think also what a great opportunity to start off and such a big global company, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Microsoft to start off your career, you already have like such now, not high expectation, but from your career profile, it starts at a very high level, right? And
yeah.
sometimes it can be intimidating. I mean, right from varsity, you're
Mm,
young, and now you come into a big corporate world within the
yeah.
tech space that's running on a global scale. So how did you feel about now entering the your big girl job basically, right?
Yeah.
Especially as a young female of color specifically, how did that basically transition take place and how did you experience it in that period?
Yeah. So I was so excited. Remember,
Mm.
I told you that this is something that I've always been passionate about, curious about, and
Mm.
now I get to do the actual job. So
Yes.
I was so excited that I'm in. Um, and I also treated the whole experience as an exploration phase to say, you know what, let me try
Mm.
different things within. Let me ask for opinions, advices to see what other roles within tech can I embark on to see
Mm.
what I like and what I don't like. So the experience has been amazing and obviously challenging because, I mean, you're fresh out of university, you do not know what to expect in the corporate
Mm.
world, right? But I think I have been very lucky to have a great network from the minute I started.
Mm.
I had mentors. I had great managers, that were helping me throughout my career to just advise me. Because to be honest, building a career on your own, especially from a foundation phase, it's not easy because you're not experienced enough, right? You
That's
need
true.
people that are experienced to hold you to say you can do this. So it was a little bit challenging in that regard.
Mm,
And obviously, you have to learn. You have to learn from scratch. You have to be in customer meetings. At some point, you do not know all the answers, right?
true.
So that can be very intimidating as well. But overall,
Mm.
I think I've had fun so far in my career. Yeah.
No, that's great to hear. And even myself, what I've also picked up on, right, with the
Mm,
transitions and the changes and where technology is always on the move, on the go, right? You need
mm,
to have that open mindset because, for example, you mentioned that you studied coding, right? If you think of
yeah,
coding and sales, yes, it's within one industry, but it's completely different, right? So you
is.
need to be able to switch and have different hats because you need to basically have that willingness to learn,
Yeah,
especially within the industry that we are in. So
yeah,
great to hear that you're able to basically switch so quickly because you mentioned now that you started your internship, your early career. Well, it's still early career, but way more experience, 6 years down the line is quite a
yeah.
long time to build that
Mm,
experience. But now also being with inside of IBM. So there's a lot of transitions, and we keep on this basically topic of transitioning from varsity to work
yeah.
world into the big tech, but now also transitioning into different organizations, right? So
Mm,
how was that for you? Because I think within your 6 years, right, there's been a lot of changes that have been taking place, a
yeah,
lot of learning. So now you're getting into basically of the comfort of, okay, I'm in Microsoft, okay, this I can see myself here for 10 years, right? But
yeah.
then you also then switch to IBM, which is a different organization. So now you have to
Mm.
adjust to culture, you have to adjust to new customers, those type of things. So how did you deal with that transition specifically? Because I know sometimes you can get so comfortable, right?
Mm,
And sometimes you need to force yourself to get into
yes.
different spaces, different organizations or so. Some people tend to not even be able to do that, but you have been able to accomplish it within such a young, you're not even 30 yet, you're still like, you're 27 as you mentioned, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how did you basically make yourself create this type of mindset that you have right now into transitioning into different organizations as well?
Yeah, sure. As you said, it's not easy, right?
Mm,
Um, I remember because right now the current role that I'm doing, I'm a software renewal specialist. So it
mm,
is similar to what I was doing. It is still the sales role.
mm,
Not so much of a tech sales, but
mm,
more sales, right? I still need to sell software to clients. I still need to show the value of the product that they're using to them
mm,
and match it with their needs and make sure that we are aligning with their strategies. So it is
mm.
similar. I did get some experience from my first job, and it has been amazing so far. I'm with IBM for about 3 years this year, actually.
Wow.
So yeah, so you need to maneuver with the different cultures from different companies, but I do believe when a company has the same values that you have, that you can align with, it is much easier as well to do the transition as well to work with it. So
Mm,
I still do what I do, and of course, there are some learnings that you need to get into. You need to learn the products that that company is selling specifically.
mm,
You need to do the certifications. I do believe with everything, with every tech company, you still continue to grow in that regard. So
mm,
I've been lucky as well to still have mentors within the company. Wherever I go, I make sure that I do get a mentor
mm,
to help me throughout my career. So the journey has been amazing. So
mm,
far, keep learning. You need to be intentional, right?
mm,
About you with your knowledge. You need to demonstrate your knowledge and capabilities wherever you go. So that I've been trying to do that, to be intentional about my learning, to be intentional about my career, and to building my own journey, building credibility with whatever thing that I do and building my brand.
No, that is absolutely amazing. So I'm going to pivot a bit and touch base on, for example, different personality types within a workplace, right?
Yeah,
So I got to know a little bit more about you because we also used to work at the same
yeah,
organization, right? And when I got to meet yourself, I was like, Naledi, extremely smart, very timid, knows her place, and you have, as I mentioned, because you have different personality types, sometimes when you get into the big corporate space, right, you might think,
mm,
oh my word, I need to now ask questions so that it seems like I am like knowledgeable, or I need to be always busy with something, I need to be loud and those type of things. And you are someone that's very timid, more laid back with regards to being soft spoken and those type of
yeah,
things, right? And I think
mm,
it's very important to share those type of things because sometimes people think like, oh my word, I don't ask or don't talk as much as Will, and oh my word, they're gonna think that
yeah,
I'm lazy and those type of, just as an example, right? But you stay true
mm,
to yourself, and this is something that's so important, right?
yeah,
So just also want to touch base on that because sometimes when people see like big corporate, they feel like they need to switch to someone that they are not, right? But you
mm,
have been
mm.
consistent with regards to staying true to yourself. So how important do you think that is?
Right. That's very important. You need to stay true to yourself. And I have learned something. You need to not allow other people's assumptions to define what you're capable of, right?
Mm,
As you said, I'm a little bit of shy. I keep to
mm,
myself, but I have learned to focus on being prepared for any stage, for any moment, asking questions as well, staying curious in my own bubble as well, if you can put
mm,
it that way, but you still stay curious and you need
mm,
to also just focus on your work, and that will let the consistency from your work will will speak for itself. I've
mm,
also learned that I do not need to prove myself all at once. It's about
mm,
building credibility over time. The way you show up, right? The way you contribute within meetings or whatever space that you're in. And that
yes.
will also follow through. Over time, people started seeing my capabilities from the time when I started working through my actions rather than their initial assumption. So
Mm,
as you said, for example, just starting out, you're one of the youngest at that time in most of the rooms. So, and
mm,
naturally, someone with more reserved and shy personality, you sometimes feel like you have to work a little bit harder. But I learned that being quiet doesn't mean you're lacking confidence or capability.
mm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely amazing. And I think a lot of people will be able to relate to that. As I
Mm,
mentioned, we are all different people and
we
we all
are.
bring something to the table. I remember they always used to be like, you belong there, you deserve the seat at the table. So you need to also have that sort of mindset, right? When you are in
Mm,
certain environments, as you mentioned, getting into a room, getting into a call, you're either the only female or the youngest, right? So
mm,
how you basically show up, you still make sure that I'm not gonna now be like, oh, we learn the intern, oh, not lady the intern. But you're gonna
yeah,
show
yeah.
up in a professional way. And I think also
Mm,
the one thing I've realized is that the corporate space is actually also welcoming. Um,
mm,
but as you mentioned, you need to make sure that you up your game, you are skilled up, you have the knowledge, you know
yep.
what you're also talking about. Yes, you might not have all the answers, right? You
Mm,
like I might not have the answer now, but let me get back to you. So I
yes.
think also not just from a technical perspective, but also the soft skills, how you talk.
Mm,
It's something that you don't come into corporate and you magically have, right? It's a
yes, you build it.
journey. Yes,
Yeah.
it's a building journey, and you grow along with it, and you
Mm.
become better and better because we're all scared in the beginning. We're
We're all
still scared
scared, right?
now. We still get nervous now, but you just
Mm.
show up in a way that shows your confidence. And as you mentioned, you staying true to yourself. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Earlier also mentioned that you like hiking and you like try new things. You say every year you get something new to do, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's also something very important because you can get lost within the workplace, right?
Mm,
Stress,
mm,
deadlines, KPIs, all these type of things. So as you mentioned, like you are intentional also about making time for those type of things. How
yeah.
has that impacted also how you show up in the workplace?
So from university, I couldn't just study and focus on my studies. I needed to have an outlet out there. I remember I joined a soccer team. Mind you, I'm not good at soccer, but I just needed an activity to try. I
Mm.
remember trying the rugby team, but that did not go well. So again, with the world of work, there's just so much. You work a
Mm.
lot, and you need to have that outlet outside of work just to keep you sane, for your
Mm.
mental health as well. So I remember when I started, I tried yoga. I used to love yoga, but now I took a break from it. Um,
Mm.
I just, love Pilates. I take a walk
Nice.
sometimes between my meetings because you do need to take a break. So I
Mm.
remind myself to take a walk even after work. I try to take walks. Not
Mm.
consistent with gym, but I do try to go. It
Mm.
does help a lot in terms of how I show up in the workplace because you need your mind to be refreshed, and there
That's
are a
true.
lot of different things that can refresh your mind.
Mm.
Saturdays sometimes I do walk, read a book. So that's how I get to do other things outside of work that helps me to come refreshed at work, to
Mm.
not feel like, ooh, I need a holiday, all the time. So yeah, that's what I do. I always find outside of um work things to do.
Yes, and that's important because you need to have a balance. As
Mm,
they say, they love that thing of work-life balance,
you need
right?
to create it.
Yes, you need to be very intentional about creating it.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you'll just go crazy.
Yeah,
And then I think one last question as we are wrapping it up, right?
yeah.
As we are mentioning, it is August, it's Women's Month, focusing
Mm,
specifically on of women in tech, but young females like yourself, right? What would you tell the young girls out there, right, that's looking at Naledi Mashishi and was like, I want to be like Naledi one day? But what motivation would you give them? Because it is still a industry that is led by men, I would say,
mm,
right? There's a lot of opportunities for female
true.
to be in the industry, but to also not just be in the industry, but make big significant impact within the
Yeah.
space, right?
Mhm.
What would you give? What would you tell the little girls out there that's looking in and wanting to also join the party?
Yeah, sure. There's just a lot to say around this, but I will try to just think about few points. Do
Mm,
not be intimidated.
mm,
If you're only starting your career, it's your first job, your internship, try to build your network. As I've said, what helped me throughout my foundation is all the people that I have, even now, the mentors, the coaches, the
mm,
sponsors, find those people that can help you build your career. You do not have to navigate it alone. You know,
mm,
another thing, set your goals. Do not wait for your manager to tell you to say, what
mm.
are your goals? What are you planning to do?
Yes.
As much as we set financial goals in life, fitness goals, do those for your career, for
Mm,
yourself. As you're starting out, learn a lot. I mean, we're still learning even right now, but prioritize it. Even if you're not in the workplace yet, you're still in university, dive
yes.
into what you're not focused on or outside of your curriculum. Use AI for yourself,
Mm,
try to understand things better and explore. If you're still in your internship space, job shadow other people that are outside of your role, um,
mm,
to see what you like and what you don't like. That gives a clear guidance in terms of where you want to go because there's
mm,
so many roles and there's so many things that you can do. So you need to establish what you like from an early phase. So yeah, another thing, try to have fun throughout your career.
Mm,
volunteer, join initiatives at work that aligns with who you are, be it culture, disability, diversity and inclusion, different things. It helps you understand other people better as well.
mm,
Yeah, so that's what I would say. And speak up even if your voice shakes,
mm.
share your idea anyway, because there will be moments where you have doubts, but
Yes.
don't let them get into you. Yeah.
Thank you so, so much. And that was so beautifully said, Naledi.
Oh, thank you.
It was so beautifully said, and I think a lot of people will be able to feel so inspired after watching this video. They better watch, and they must like and they must subscribe.
Definitely. There was like and
Yes,
subscribe.
but yet again, thank you so, so much for volunteering your time, your efforts to come and chat with me. But not that, right? As I mentioned, this Get Ready was to share and
Mm,
encourage people from outside looking in, but getting a better understanding of what the young people are doing within the industry, and also giving them a little bit more insight, because once you're in varsity and stuff, you don't have all of this knowledge. I mean, when
true.
we came in from outside in, there was roles I've never heard about.
Right?
There was so many things, and I'm just like, what did we actually learn in varsity, right?
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming in with an open mind, by sharing your journey from the start to where you are now.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to your journey and seeing you even get even bigger and growing within the industry, or whatever your next steps is. So I wish you all the best within your career journey, and may you just flourish even further. So thank you so, so much.
Oh, thank you for having me. And this is a great platform. Thank you for this. I'm very excited. And this was amazing having a talk with you. So thank you so much for having me. You're doing great.
Thank you.
Thank you.